The only other thing I'd suggest is don't believe a word the proponents or the hosts say. No. It's all lies.
Yeah.
Every single word that comes out of their mouth is all lies. Even the amount of money they might offer you as a neighbour agreement or as a host is a lie. But the hosts are finding this out now is, oh, no, that's not the money you said early on. So.
And the way particularly, because we're dealing with Squadron, the way that Squadron seem to come at it is that they, and particularly dealing with Andrew Forrest, it's almost like this cult of climate change, and their hosts are being that you're saving the planet and you're doing the most amazing work and no one understands you and you're the special people and everyone else is crap.
Well, from my point of view, learn the laws and the rules around it. The only way you can fight it or get just remuneration later on is to fight it legally.
Yep.
Yes, I know it's a financial cost, but there are avenues.
So as a neighbour to a proposed wind farm and as a councillor, what would your advice be to people who have a wind factory proposed in their area?
Look, you have to fight. You have to fight. You can't just, like, if you're opposed to them, as we are, like I said, we're not opposed to renewables, we're just opposed to the way that the projects are carried out and that this Upper Lachlan Shire already has enough wind farms, right? But my advice is don't take it lying down, get up and fight.
And there's power in numbers, right? So
Absolutely. And like I said, it started with one, started with a walk, and now we've got, 300 members, in our No More Wind Farms group. So I think, you got to fight.
Yeah.
It's not within, the Aussie spirit not to fight.
Yep.
And if you believe in something, you can make a difference. And don't take it lying down just because they're big. These renewable companies, they're often backed by billionaires.
Yeah.
Overseas companies.
Yep.
We just can't let that happen.
If you had any advice for anybody,
don't sign anything. We went to the Crookwell. These have been great because we come up, as soon as we found out about our project, we just happened to come on to this No More Wind Turbines for Upper Lachlan. And they had McCormick here and a few other people and that, and I asked a question about signing. They turned around and said, don't sign. But these big companies that, I don't know if you've heard, some of them just, they keep selling it to another one, and then when it comes time to wind all these down, where will they be?
Yeah. It'll have changed hands and it'll be on the land, the host.
Yeah.
It's a responsibility to leave them there. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So make sure everything's in writing. It doesn't matter how nice they are, because in our instance, it was just a one-man band. It was her and her brother, this big story. We've got investors going to do this. She got the development through and then she sold it on to someone else and she promised you the world. Oh, look, I understand what you mean. So my suggestion would be, if you are communicating, put in writing. Don't believe anything they say and back yourself, believe in yourself. And I think in today's society, people are a bit more aware when, ours has been up for close to 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So if you raise anything, you're constantly attacked as being a science denier. But your land, you work hard for it. It's your property. It's your mortgage. It's your life. And they're going to walk away. And make big dollars. So, fight for it.
And that's the way they work. They've got the government backing them so they can do whatever they want to do and they just let it go. And you can say all you want and do all you want and they just turn it straight round to suit themselves. And this has been the biggest problem. There's no communication whatsoever. There's communication, but you might as well throw it out the window the moment they walk out the door.
So what would your advice be to anybody who's either looking to host or is looking to have a wind farm built in their location?
Please don't do it. It's just, make sure you sit down and do your research and see the impacts it's having on the other communities. It's not all about the money. It's about people's health and
no
and the
amount
community.
of money can give you back what you've lost.
Definitely not. No, not at all.
No. That's another message we're getting loud and clear. The money is now irrelevant. We just want our life back.
Yes,
so
definitely.
many people have said that.
Yep. And, you know, we bought here to live out on the country in peace and quiet and, you
In
know,
a beautiful part.
and raise a
with
family, you know, yeah.
Yeah, you look around and it is spectacular
Yeah.
apart from
Yes.
what
Yep.
can you see? You've probably got 15 turbines,
Yep.
surrounding 3 sides of your house.
Yes.
It's
Yep. And,
It's
you know, we
crazy.
sit in our lounge room. It's the first thing you see when you look out at these huge turbines
Yep.
looking straight at you.
and sometimes you don't even have to be looking out. You've
No.
got the shadow effect
Yep.
in your house.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Any last words, mate? Anything you'd like to tell viewers?
We would just like to be heard, you know, from the governments and things like that. It's, it seems to be, it just keeps falling on deaf ears all the time. You know, no matter how much you raise your concerns, it just doesn't get listened to whatsoever.
What would your advice be to anybody who's thinking about being a host or having one positioned near their property?
They really need to look into it. And I know people say that these hosts that, you know, they're all happy and that sort of stuff. Yeah, they've probably got a hell of a lot of money. And to be quite honest, like when they first told us like that they were doing these developments, I was like, it was in the middle of the drought back years ago that there was talk of this. And I'm like, good way to drought-proof your property, income coming in when you're losing stock and feed and all that sort of thing. But that money that they're providing you will not cover what it will cost you to actually, A, get rid of the things afterwards, and then you're stuck with concrete in the ground for starters because they're not going to dig up, you know, hundreds of tonnes of concrete.